morning everyone, it's Monday the 4th of May and it's week 3 of our online learning and I'm doing my Monday assembly and I'd like to show you something. Hopefully you can see my Star Wars mug has reacted to the hot water that's poured into it, and almost magically the lightsabers have glowed up on the outside. So why is Mr. Phelan pouring a hot drink into his Star Wars mug? Well, today is May the 4th, so let me be the first to say to you, may the 4th be with you, because if you know me reasonably well enough, you'll know that I am a little bit of a Star Wars fan, perhaps an understatement there. And so today, what I thought would be really nice would be to spend some time thinking about Star Wars and why it still seems to speak to us, even though it's 40 plus years on from when the very first film came out in 1977. Now, some of you will know the story of Star Wars really, really well, and others of you perhaps less interested, maybe, and certainly less knowledgeable about it. But essentially, Star Wars is a story of good versus evil, and like so many different stories, it's about an epic or a journey. There is a task that has to be completed. That task is an enormous one. It's not one that can be done alone, and a whole team of people have to work together in order to get to the end and defeat evil and see a good outcome. Now, as stories go, we could identify lots and lots of different stories from a number of different cultures going back thousands and thousands of years, which to a certain extent have similar elements to them. But what is it about Star Wars that seems to have landed so well with so many different people? Well, firstly, I think it's because it's fun. It's a really good yarn to listen to watch, to be involved in as a spectator. I think secondly, one of the reasons why it's so popular still is that it was quite a breakthrough in terms of what was visually on the screen, and what was happening back in 1977 we see now replicated in far more detail and much better because of digital technology. But nevertheless, that in itself had a big impact. But why else? Well, I asked my eldest daughter what she thought about Star Wars and why she thought it was quite popular, and she came up with a few words for me. She said that she felt that it dealt with the issue of adversity, troubles and difficulty. She said that it really touched on that. It showed resourcefulness, people not just giving up but having to look at doing things differently, coming up with different ideas, almost thinking outside the box. She spoke about striving together to achieve something good. And I think that resonates particularly with people, and at any time, but at the moment really very much so, working together collectively for something that's bigger than us. And the last thing that she said was that it shows that people get through difficult times. And I thought that was a really good set of observations. I also think Star Wars is really popular because it's so diverse. Think about the characters. You have men and women, you have really tall people, you have really short people, you have people from different planets that look different, sound different, their skin colour is different, even the number of limbs that they have is different. And I think as a viewer, as an observer, as we watch that's why it's so popular, because it talks to lots of different people. It's not exclusive. It's very inclusive. And we know that that's a really important thing, to know that you feel like you belong and that you have a part to play. So maybe as you go into the rest of this week and into what will be Bank Holiday Friday, where we are remembering the VE Day, the end of the Second World War in Europe, actually, while Star Wars is fun and light and entertainment, actually, I think it has a little bit of a message for us about sticking with it through difficult times, about working together as a team to overcome something that seems like it can't be overcome. And that good ultimately always brings the hope that we want over adversity and evil. And those messages, which are core universal messages, which we'll see across hundreds of different cultures, across thousands of different years, still is as important today in 2020 as it was back in 1977 or many, many times back in years before. So I think that Star Wars and May the 4th be with you is something quite useful for us to hang our hats on today as we go into the rest of this week. So what I'd like us to do is to put our hands together and our eyes closed, and again I'll say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So all that remains for me is to say have a lovely day today. Work hard. Keep focusing on your class lessons. I know you're doing a really good job on that. Keep that patience going as well. And finally, from me to you, may the force be with you and have a wonderful week. I'll speak to you again properly on Monday after the bank holiday weekend. Take care.